Now you might hear people saying relocation of snakes is a death sentence, but that is not true.
Got a rattlesnake in the front yard. Hello everybody, I'm headed to my first call of the day, one in Ahwatukee, so a good way to start that off. Got a rattlesnake in the front yard. Lady's keeping an eye on it for me. Fingers crossed for a speckled, but you know what, I'll take anything. Hi. How are you? Good, how you doing? Well, better that you're here. Got a little visitor, I see. By your door?
Yeah, he's by the front door there.
Oh, is it a speck? Oh, it is a speck. Sweet.
What kind of a snake is that?
It's called a speckled rattlesnake.
Are they pretty venomous?
Yeah, they're venomous just as much as, you know, they're a rattlesnake.
Oh shit.
Hey, bud.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
You want to get a shot of him in the bucket?
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't he gorgeous?
I gotta take a picture.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got like a little blue color on
Yeah.
it. Oh wow. That's just crazy.
Hello.
Hey, this is Bryan from Rattlesnake Solutions. I'm on my way out.
Yeah.
Got a call from Brandon. I'm about 15 minutes away. Might be able to get there a little bit quicker now, so.
Oh, good. I'm staring at it, but I'm in my truck because I'm scared. So.
That's just fine. I'll be there shortly and I'll look for you, okay?
Oh, thank God. Okay. I'll just be right here in the driveway.
Okay, see you in a sec. So after a long weekend in Nevada, actually, with Michael from our fencing team, 1,500 miles of driving, and found 2 gopher snakes, but you know, at least it's fun to go hiking. Anyway, I'm back running my first call this week. We are in North Cave Creek. Also, it's where I live. It's also where we get the most rattlesnake calls. Lots of habitat around. Homes are kind of mixed in with the surrounding terrain. That's why it's a great place to live. It's also why a lot of people get wildlife in their yard. Homeowner says she is stuck in her truck watching the snake. There's a truck. All right, let's see what happens. Hi. How you doing? It's all right. I'll look around too, just to make sure he's by himself. So. Oh, there he is. Yeah, easy. No, I don't like roller coasters though. So we all have our things. Okay, let me catch it and then I'll look around and see if he has any friends. Oops. So when it's really wet out, like it has been, there's a lot of displacement. So he might have been in the wash, just happy and living his whole life there, and just it got flooded or something. So then they go where they best they can, and places like this, it's lots of shade. So I'm gonna take a look around just to make sure. So the good news is also it is a boy, so it's not like having babies or anything like that over here. More likely to be by itself. But the rodents that are living here that's kind of an attractant for it as well. Yeah, I don't see any signs of anything in here. Well, he would eventually, just not right now. I mean, it's an adult. He's been living here. The way to look at it is not so much like there's a new rattlesnake. The yard is more dangerous than it was. It's like just a chance encounter with something that's always been here. So even if you didn't see him again, like if you showed up and then left, it's like if you see your mailman one day, you don't start getting more mail the next day.
Got our beautiful little speck friend here. Hey, Specky. A gorgeous snake. Got this nice little cave here for it. Just gonna put the shop here. be a spec. First call of the day was a spec call. Not hating on that. You guys know I love specs. Right off the mountain, by the front door, easy enough. Hiked it back in. I'll put it in the little cave system right off of a wash. It's gonna stay nice and cool for the day. Hopefully I stay nice and cool for the day because it is sweaty out. Really sweaty. It's not very hot, but it's just humid. You know. Oh my gosh, mosquitoes are out too. All right, I gotta go because I'm gonna get eaten alive.
So in the last almost 2 weeks now, we've got a tremendous amount of rain. We got flooding going on. Our house got flooded. All the washes are flowing, all of them. All the snakes are kind of held down by it, surprisingly, but it's a good time to be in the desert. Everything is green, everything is growing, soaking up every last drop. It's a really funny thing that happened a few years ago. Jeff and I were working on a, call it, large construction project, doing snake mitigation. The entity doing the hiring, we'll just say there were a lot of people that were brought in that aren't from Arizona and don't really know the situation of water to do things like construction of stuff that needs to hold up to a flash flood. They saw something like this and thought, well, there's no water here. This is an old riverbed or something. So they parked all their trucks in it. And then the first big monsoon storm that we got, all those trucks were underwater. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna put this snake into this deep rack. That's what this stuff is called. It's called rack. It's basically just the trash that comes in from the storm. And that'll be a good spot to hide. And then it basically has the run of this entire drainage to pick. Oh, he's adventurous. You're just gonna help, aren't you? All right. I guess you know what to do. Have you done this before? Do we know each other? Nice long tail. That's a male. He might start rattling once he gets his head in there. Sometimes they'll kind of hold off on the rattling until they feel like there's a safe place to defend, and then they'll do it. A lot of times they don't. He's just an easygoing, chill rattlesnake. Nice young male. He still has about another third of that size to grow. Nice easy relocation, and that snake is going to be just fine. Now you might hear or see online people saying things like relocation of snakes is a death sentence, but that is not true. In the worst case scenarios, the snakes still survive about half the time. And when I say worst case, I mean that the people that relocated it didn't pay attention to being very careful and selective with microhabitat and estimation of its home range. Basically, its entire natural history is not considered. So worst that happens is 50%, worst. And just because something at its worst fails around half the time, at its worst, that's not what we're doing. That's no excuse to cut its head off because you don't want to try. And that is exactly what a lot of inexperienced young biologists will often do, is they get excited about having something that they feel like they're right about, and that idealism directly kills animals that we could otherwise help. So I can say that snake I just relocated, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be killed anytime soon, not from this, certainly.